This calf just died this morning. We noticed him a couple days ago. He wasn't feeling too good, so we treated him. We've been treating him a couple days, but this morning he passed away. And then we also have another calf that we just noticed when we were branding that has a big swollen lump around his navel. So we're just gonna get that checked out. We didn't really want to cut into it, but Damaris is gonna be your filmer today. We got a storm coming, so I gotta set out some hay so we can feed easy this weekend. And Damaris and my mom are gonna be the filmers. So good luck. Damaris is getting along with the little puppy better than I and him are getting along.
Come here, Gunner. Gunner, don't take the attention. Ollie. Or Ollie.
See, he likes you more than he likes me.
No. Come be my friend. Come be my friend.
He's still getting warmed up to it.
I feed you and I give you water.
Alright, here you go, babe. Good luck.
Hello, it's me and Jodi today. We're just having a little girls' day. We're going to the co-op and to the vet. That's as close to a girls' day out as we can get.
We don't have spa days.
No spa days.
Actually, that's coming next week.
Oh, is it?
Girls' Day.
Oh, that's good.
Next week.
That's good. Yep, so here we go.
So we just branded our last group of calves. There was not very many of them, so it only took a couple hours. We also got the disc fixed yesterday morning, and I was able to disc up this field and the one over here, so we should be done with that. My dad and Jaques got pretty well finished planting with all the stuff that we already ripped up. As the weatherman's talking, we're gonna get a big storm this weekend, which I hope is gonna happen, but we're in a blizzard warning tonight and tomorrow, and hopefully it'll amount to something. So it's nice to get all that seed into the ground before it gets some moisture on it, which will help a lot. And since we're gonna have this blizzard, they're talking a couple feet of snow. I'm just gonna take the tractor and set some bales out of our stacks. So it's really easy for whoever's running the pickup tomorrow, Dad or Jaques, to just drive in, pick them up with the hydro bed and go feed the cows. So they aren't messing around a whole bunch, getting stuck and everything. So that's what I'm gonna do while they go to the vet.
That's pretty firm. Let's get the ultrasound. We'll take a look at the ultrasound. We'll see. I think it's a hernia and an abscess, probably.
Oh, really? Okay.
One you get 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah. I'll get the ultrasound and we'll get
Little buddy doesn't know what's coming.
Little baby in this big shoot.
Hey, at least he's going to the bath.
Yeah, he is. That's good.
Thought maybe there would be an obstruction of some sort. Freshly branded.
So y'all ready for the storm?
Well, I suppose.
They'll have about 3 or 4 C-sections tomorrow.
Silence. I'm calling you. And I hope it's 2 in the morning.
I don't know how.
What,
I don't know how to do them.
Jinxed me. That's terrible.
Yeah.
We'll use the linear probe on this. I might need to drop this. I don't know. Whoops. Better contact. Am I getting anything? Yeah, it's on freeze. Okay, so that real heterogeneous or mixed echogenicity or It's not homogeneous. It's mixed necrogenicity, I guess you should say. That's all pus.
Oh, that's.
Watch, you can wiggle it and see how it just jiggles. That's fluidy, purulent material. $10 million question is.
So you can't tell yet if there's a hernia there.
Well, I can look up. I can take a look with this at the body wall. Let's see. You definitely have a infected urachus, infected belly button. You got gas in it too. There's a real bright line. There's some gas in that. Not much, because gas is white on ultrasound. It bounces all sound waves back.
So what
All
would,
sound waves are absorbed as black.
what would have caused this accumulation of?
Oh, well, the most common thing is an infection of the umbilical cord.
Okay.
Now, the reason I'm doing this is to make sure there's not small intestine in there.
Right, that's why Jeff just didn't
That's
wanna.
super
Try
unhandy
to
to
do
cut that open and
something
have
with
bowel
the-
fall out when you're standing.
Right, yeah.
That's problematic at the very best.
It was very tempting for him to just poke it and assume it was pus and an infection, but we didn't want to be dealing with that.
So what I might do, I don't see bowel in this. It's fairly consistently, let me check on the other side, fairly consistently. Looks like pus. I might stab it, make a lancet, and then we'll put it on antibiotics, maybe some Exceed or something like that. But you guys won't have to. That looks like that's some purulent material there. Oh, he's peeing on me.
Ornery.
Well,
I'm glad it can be.
Yep, I'm glad.
but on the back, you're not going to see. I'm going to go ahead, probably,
Okay,
the
good.
next thing I'll do is stick a needle in it.
Good.
Give you like a 14 inch and a half,
What do you call it?
Marissa.
An IMD, incision and drainage.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
We got a nurse here.
I can't profess to you there's not a hernia there. If I can empty this, I might be able to get a finger up dorsally and maybe ascertain if there is actually an umbilical hernia as well. There may not be one, there may be one.
Okay.
If there's a large one there, I kind of doubt there is because there's nothing else in there but purulent material. If there is a large one there, that's a surgical repair. If it's really big, I don't know if you want to do that on a steer.
Right,
If it was a valuable heifer or a bull calf.
yeah.
I did one of these earlier this spring for R69. That bull was probably worth
Yeah,
potentially 10
Right.
grand next
Yeah.
year.
yeah. Little different story.
What do we do here? So it's safe to say that's pus.
Yep.
So appreciate it. A little hair on this side. We'll scrub it, and I'm going to take like a 10 blade, and we'll open it up and we'll flush it.
So really, at home, when you're Brandon and you find this, there's no way to know if there's potentially a hernia.
I wouldn't do it out there.
Okay, yeah.
If I could palpate it, sometimes you can actually feel the intestine slipping between your fingers. Do not open those.
Wow.
On one like this, it's probably purulent material, that's all. But if it is
If there was
intestine,
intestine, you're in trouble up there.
you've killed it.
Yeah, yep.
You know, but I'm happy with this thing. I'm happy that I can, well, I still go through the step of sticking a needle in it first. You know, in the old days I didn't have that. I had to stick a needle in everything and hope
Right.
you
Hope you
see how smart you are. But we'll lance it, flush it, and we will give him Exceed.
Okay,
Exceed is a third generation cephalosporin that will last about 4 or 5 days, so you want to give him a bunch of injections.
sounds good.
See how we do.
Perfect.
He's hanging out. He's looking sleepy.
What do you think, baby?
Maybe you'd feel better once
He
it's...
looks so funny in this picture.
Yeah. Got a shave.
First, I might have him crank his tail here in a second.
Okay.
So I can do this without sneaking it. Soft spot right there almost. I'll move the pail so you can stand there. Thank you. Are you ready? Make sure I don't try not to vessel. You culture these. The most common bacteria that you'll grow out of these is I don't know what they call it now. They change the names every 10 years on microbes. But it's Corynebacterium pyogenes. That's what I was taught 30 some years ago. Very chronic or common bacteria that you'll see in these chronic wounds in cattle.
Really?
Yeah. Sensitive, very sensitive to penicillin.
Good.
But since I'm going to give them next seed, we won't give penicillin. Now the other thing I can do here, this isn't ideal. See, that doesn't push, now I might be able to stick my finger up there. Make it a little bigger hole and see if they feel a hernia. Easy. You can, is he trying to lay down?
I don't know what he's doing.
What are you doing? He does have a hernia.
Does he?
Yeah, it's about the size, it's a little bit bigger diameter, but not that big. But there is a hernia there now. So the $10 million question here is, these things can go up and go just a certain distance, and they'll be walled off. And they can either travel towards the liver or travel towards the bladder. That's how the umbilical veins go when they're fetuses. But there is definitely an umbilical hernia there. Is it going to be problematic? It may not. If there's no bowel that drops in it, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. Do they go together? Does for some reason the umbilical hernia and the infection,
Sometimes.
one kind of cause the other?
I don't, the infection doesn't tend to cause the hernia. The hernia, they're born with that usually.
Yeah.
Why you see more of, I'm not sure if I'm smart enough, unless it just creates a pocket that this, let's say something travels up the urachus, you know, or the umbilical cord when they're born, there's a pocket there, and it just
provides a place.
Provides a place for it to incubate. That would be
Yeah.
my simple way of looking at it. It's probably not correct, but
It makes sense though too. Or it could just be totally random that he has both.
give them enough 140, 150 to be fine. Sometimes flushing these one time will take care of it. Sometimes it'll fill right back up.
So is it some we can just, at home,
you
just
could
do
do
it
this
then
again.
at this point? Okay.
Practice, dipping nails as a practice is very, very helpful. I mean, it does decrease morbidity as far as the number of these calves that get joint ill or umbilical infections or become septic because the bacteria gets into the bloodstream and they die of a bacteremia.
Do they pick up other bacteria that cause problems potentially later in life other than just getting a navel ill or an infection? Potentially?
As far as a persistent infection, I mean, this is fairly persistent, but something that's going to be problematic, if they pick it up now, it's going to be a problem down the road, not usually.
Okay.
If they're sick or septic or whatever, right away at birth, it does seem to predispose them to being problematic in feedlots later. I mean, a lot of these, it's better if they don't get sick. And the other thing that's really critical too, I mean, with that is adequate colostrum. And they've done studies showing that they don't get adequate colostrum as a baby, they are going to be fraught with peril all the way through their life, all the way through. If they go to slaughter, you know, they just seem to not do as well. But to answer your initial question, I can't think of a bacteria that they pick up now and be problematic 8 months from now.
Doesn't necessarily increase your chances of scours or pneumonia
Oh, it can. They can,
It can through
they can
the-
pick up a scourge bug through the umbilicus.
through their navel. Okay, that's, yeah. So it's
They
not
can-
just
the
navel,
bacteria.
though, you could get.
They
you
can
could
pick up
get-
bacteria through their navel, and it can end up in the joints. It can end up in the
Yeah.
lungs. It can end up in the gut, and the bacteria can go in another portal that's most common is oral. You know, but yeah, that navel is just a gigantic wick.
So we do try to treat all the navels, but what kind of time frame? I mean, some of them are several hours old or so before we get around to
Well, that's
taking them and
better
dipping
than
them.
nothing.
Yeah.
And get it wet. Oh, with this guy here. So there's a fat pad right here at the base of the ear. And that acts like a depository for it, really slowly.
I didn't realize that.
You can give it intramuscularly, but it's not really where you want to give it. In cattle, you're supposed to give it in that fat.
I've done a lot of
And there's a cat post.
today.
We've got some beautiful clouds building up. Just what we like to see. Supposed to hit the northern hills and the foothills. Hopefully we'll get some of that. I hope you guys had fun going along with Damaris and my mom and seeing all that, whatever they did. I haven't heard about it yet, so I'm excited to hear about what happened, what is going on with that one calf with the weird lump around his navel. But we're gonna get a storm. We're gonna get some moisture, I think. It's just a matter of how much. Hopefully we get a whole bunch. Make sure you tell Damaris good job filming and working that. I'll see you guys in the next video.